Welcome to the Real Faces of Careers in Aging. On the line is Glenna Brewster, Assistant Professor at Emory University Nell Hodgson Woodruff School of Nursing in Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Glenna.
Hello, Julie.
How did you become interested in the field of aging? And tell us what you're doing right now.
So during my doctoral studies, I started working with caregivers of persons with dementia to examine the associations between their sleep, psychological health, and cognitive functions. Those interactions have continued to guide my clinical and research career because ultimately I want to improve or maintain the quality of life of the caregivers and the persons living with dementia. Currently, I'm an assistant professor in the Nell Hodgson Woodruff School of Nursing in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have taught nursing courses, but right now I am involved in two research studies. So one, I'm examining insomnia and sleep quality in caregivers of persons living with dementia who are participating in a randomized trial of an online version of the Savvy Caregiver program called TeleSavvy. And I'm also looking at metabolomic contributions to symptoms of depression, anxiety, and fatigue in African American caregivers of persons with multiple chronic conditions. And I've had the opportunity to be able to intern in a primary care clinic at Emory where we provide primary care 1 day a week. Well, I provide it 1 day a week for persons living with dementia.
Wow. So what's the best part about your job?
There are many things that I really enjoy about my job. The first one, first and foremost, is really interacting with and caring for the family caregivers and the persons living with dementia in the integrated memory care clinic. Second is actually participating in recruitment and community events with the population. So I get to educate them about the disease and what to expect and how to plan for the future living with the disease. And finally, I work with a great team of researchers and support persons, so I get to generate research ideas and to work with them with the goal of seeking to improve the lives of caregivers and the persons living with dementia.
Great. What is your most memorable and rewarding experience?
So recently, I've had the opportunity with some of my colleagues to go and present in a church about the 10 signs, knowing the 10 signs of dementia, and really discussing the myths surrounding it. And pre-giving that presentation, we gave the participants and we asked them to just write on some leaves what they thought about the word dementia, and when they hear Alzheimer's disease and dementia, what do they think? And some of those words were hopeless or fearful, memory impairment, decline. And when we gave them those same leaves after the presentation happened, it was just amazing to see how their attitudes and their thoughts towards the disease had changed. You know, they were now hopeful, they felt educated, they felt empowered. So that was really memorable in terms of the impacts we can have once we're able to educate the community about what the disease is.
Indeed. So have you had an important mentor in your career? And if so, did your mentor make a difference?
Yes, so I think I've been lucky enough to have a few, but the one who really stands out is, her name is Dr. Rita Daoust, and she's currently the Associate Dean for Teaching and Learning at Johns Hopkins University in the School of Nursing. And she was my dissertation co-chair at the University of South Florida. And during my doctoral studies, she was the one who advocated to me and really found me this opportunity to work in an ongoing R01 NIA-funded research study with caregivers of persons with dementia. And that's how I got interested in this field and interested in this population. And she continued to support me when I went and did my doctoral studies. And even now, she remains my sounding board for the decisions that I make about my career. So I really credit her for really advocating for me and giving me her feedback and her direction in terms of how my career should go and what decisions I should make and how I can really have an impact in this field.
Terrific. Oh, thank you, Glenna, for sharing your career in aging with us today.
Thank you very much for the invitation to do so. It was my pleasure.